Good morning, crafters. It's Maria. Thank you for joining me today. I am starting a series called Handmade Holiday, and in this series I will be posting videos of handmade crafts, whether that is card making related or Christmas tags or some other DIY projects that you can create to give to family and friends. So this is the first day of the series, and I will be sharing with you 3 projects that I created, and there will be a process video for one of the projects. To start, I will be showing you the materials that I have used for today's projects. The first thing that I use is one of my all-time favorite stamp set from Lawn Fawn, which is the Winter Owl, and I also have the coordinating die for this. I also use the stitch rectangle die, also from Lawn Fawn. I've also used this Mama Elephant die, and I've used the Salmon Says stamp die called Sketch Trees. I've used my Snowy Hill border or Stitch Hillside border from Lawn Fawn as well. I've used this Milk Carton die also from Lawn Fawn, and I've also used my favorite Stitch Rectangle die. So here are 3 samples of how you can use your stamp set and the dies that I've showed you, and I will be showing you how to create this little DIY tea light holder. And I use the Milk Carton die from Lawn Fawn as well as the stamp, as you can see, and I really love how this turned out. I actually covered the hole with a wax paper so that it glows when you turn it on. And the beauty about this Milk Carton die from Lawn Fawn, I have one from Stampin' Up, and I've also created a DIY project before where you don't need a die to create this little milk carton. But the convenience about having this Lawn Fawn die is it actually opens at the bottom, so you can turn off your tea light when you don't need it on anymore. And this will be a great project to give to teachers or co-workers, and I think it's a really cute idea. And I've created 2 cards for you today. The first card that I created is very simple, as you can see. I've colored the image using my Copic markers, and I used the Salmon Says stamp tree die, and this is a pretty pink posh die. I've just been trying to use my dies recently. That's a pretty pink posh die, and I just used the ribbon there. I've just been trying to use all of my dies. So this is the first card. I used the stitch die from Lawn Fawn, and I also used the stitched hillside border to create the snow. Color the image there. Use the Santa hat from Toboggan Together to create this simple card, and I think it's just simple that you can mass produce to give to your family and friends. And then for this one, this is a shaker card. Of course, I am addicted to making shaker cards, so I had to make one for this series, and I use a Spellbinders die. This is called the Cherry Blossom. And of course, one of the greenery die that I got from the Magnolia Doohickey Volume 7. I used the Lawn Fawn Stitch Circle die. And this is an Impression Obsession shaker card kit that you can find at artattacksupplies.com. And in the kit comes 10 pieces, so you can create a couple of these cute cards. And I just used some Michael's confetti and some other sequins and things that I have from my stash to put inside as the shaker material. The third project is this cute little birdhouse, and you can create a bunch of these and wrap it in cute cellophane and put a nice bow, and you can give this to your boss or your co-worker or a teacher. I got this tip from Tim Holtz that every time he creates DIY projects like his new house die or whatever, he puts wax paper so that the light diffuses and it actually glows from within. I tried that and I really liked the result. So this is just a normal wax paper that you can find in your kitchen. So there will be a process video to show you guys how to create this little birdhouse. So if you're interested to see how I made this, then please keep watching. To start the mini milk carton or the tea light holder, we will need our Lawn Fawn milk carton die, and we need to cut 2 pieces using a 6x12 cardstock. And to make it easier to fold later, the first thing that you need to do is fold the score lines towards you. For this project, I am just going to use the Tombow Mono permanent adhesive, but you can also use the liquid glue or the other stronger Tombow or your Scotch ATG tape. So I have die cut the piece and attached it using my Tombow Mono permanent adhesive, but you can use any other adhesive that you have in mind. I happen to have this and I really like Tombow, so this is what I'm using for the project. I made a mistake earlier. I actually put the adhesive on the other side, so I tore the paper a little bit, but don't worry about that because that will be at the back of the box. We are just going to use the circle die to cut a hole here so that we can use it and make it look like a birdhouse. I'm using my Lawn Fawn circle stitch die. I'm using this one right here, but you can use any other circle die that you have on hand, or you can also use the circle punch. You just need to fold this and punch it out, but you're going to cut this a little bit, but it's not a big deal. I will be placing this right in the middle, and I'm just folding this just so I could see where I am going to put the circle, and I'd like to put it right in the middle, so I am just going to use a post-it tape to hold that down and then run this through my Big Shot. And then on the inside, like I did here, you just need a piece of wax paper enough to cover the hole. You don't even have to measure this. You can just eyeball it and cut it and adhere it on the inside of your box. To make the roof, you need a 2 inches by 5 inches cardstock, and you will just fold this in half, run it through your embossing folder to create the wooden effect on this. And I also use my Stampin' Up! Scallop die to create this little roof. So I'm gonna do that right now and I'll be right back. This is the Spellbinders die that I have, and I've already die cut one long piece that I use for the other projects. So I'm just going to use this to add here to decorate the box. Like so. And then use my Martha Stewart punch to punch out a couple of the holly leaves to decorate the box and adhere the little bow. So this is the finished birdhouse tea light holder that you can create to give to your co-workers. You can also use this as a Christmas ornament by punching a hole on the roof and attaching a baker's twine, and you can use this for your tree. So it's a really cute project to make this holiday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you like the project, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you on my next crafting project. Bye for now. Happy crafting!